Welcome to the heap, the land of souls lost to the deep. And here your humanity can be hard to keep. Welcome to the heap, where the price to get out is so steep, and your guilt and grief rarely let you sleep. Welcome to the heap, where human cargo have corralled themselves like sheep, but they have learned to quietly creep so as not to disturb your lives. But now that you're here, lend them your eyes, lend them your ears. Bear witness to what is true. Bear witness to the invisible, the beautiful, the collapsible, the criminal. Welcome to the heap. Your tour is far from complete. The anxiety is yours to keep. So be afraid. Be very afraid. This didn't just happen today. Most of us are living barely more than one paycheck away from living this way. I said, welcome to the heap. But there is something found here at the depths of our disregard, at the peaks of our own applause. We find a community designed for common cause, moving not so invisibly in plain sight. This is where some of our neighbors sleep at night.
Jay enters the playing space and heads for Jimmy and the chessboard.
Yesterday, I took a walk. I walked the streets I know. I walked the streets I don't. I saw the park and the humans in it, the ones who have no home. Where am I? Is this my town? Surely this can't be true. We all have everything we need to live. I do, don't you?
Don't let the creep of the heap deplete your humanity. Your sanity may contest emotions like a game of chess. It's the hopelessness of being forgotten, the begotten scion wearing a sign on their chest, proclaiming themselves the little fool, invisible, due to a social guise of lies, your eyes blind and the fooling to what it means to be human. We're not criminal. We're not grotesque. Don't be invisible to the homeless. Don't be a sheep to outside voices. It's the choice we make that forsake the values that define us.
See the cafe over on that corner? Well, I work for the owner, but every morning I'm a loner because breakfast traffic has dropped off since this camp sprang up in this park off the corner. She's talking about laying off the staff. It's never been a real source of wealth, but that guy who panhandles feeds his dog better than I feed myself.
Man's best friend is his best friend because they don't judge. To provide for others is its own reward. Sometimes we starve for others to eat. Sometimes we just starve. Sometimes our friends are the only ones who remind us to eat. Real friends offer a hand or a hug to relieve the stress of our day.
Jimmy leans over and places a stuffed dog onto his lap.
Yesterday, my daughter took a walk down this sidewalk on her way to school. I know because I watched her the whole way. I'd be a fool not to. They don't go outside for recess anymore. Her eyes hardly get used to the sun. I called the police, the mayor. What else can I do? Run?
Other spots became overcrowded, and this is where the overflow fled. And true, due to the way people look through us with disgust, some have tried living up to those roles cast upon our lot. I'm not making excuses, just giving insight to a fight you may not see. We rename our pain comfort because it's a constant we're familiar with.
I bought my first house 10 years ago now, that one with the dormers on the roof. At Thanksgiving, we put out husks of corn. It's where our first child was born, but I can't bear to stay here to tell you the truth. It was an FHA loan, 30 years, only $5,000 down, 120 payments we've made to that account, but the market says it's barely worth what's still due. Can't you see I'm screwed?
Dude, you lay blame at the feet of the shoeless while allowing the true instigators to walk all over you. No matter how much you climb, they keep adding more rungs. The whole time you're thanking them for the additional opportunities to move up in life.
Who are these people? What's their deal? Do I really even care? Life's a bitch and then you die.
Who said anything about fair?
The heap. You might know it as your street, but how well do you really see it? Can you paint a picture complete in your mind, or is it invisible? Or some kind of indiscernible element where subliminal criminal intent takes hope from human beings, intense to intense? I present to you an inscrutable game of chess between the day-to-day struggle to keep it all together and the number one, undisputed, undefeated champion of the world, shit. Yes, shit happens. I'm told it happens out there to someone every moment of every day of the week, 365 and 1/4 days of the year. Shit comes for us all, I'm afraid. And sometimes it comes to claim what we used to define as human. There are forces looming unseen in the shadows that can pull a man's soul from his chest to the gallows, or bring your daughter's best friend's mother from the calm waiting shallows into the deep. It might creep or jump straight out as a deadline. You can't postpone this. One day you're sitting comfortably at home. The next you've got your engine running at 3 or 4 past midnight to keep the heat coming out warm when you're startled by a ding. That's your E-light, warning you it's time to pick gas or mostly crossed off and shortened grocery list. More illegible crossed out lines than actual sustenance. Anything that requires kitchen preparation, 86th. Or worse, feeling hopeless and forgotten. But when you're feeling downtrodden or soaked through with rain, sodden in cold shoes, don't get lost in your anger or despair. Cursing the gods is old news. And at this point, frankly, it feels a bit redundant. Just remember, the old timers around here, they have a saying: go where the day takes you and hope that the night doesn't.
Copy that. Another call from the heap. I only been here 2 weeks, and already I can see it's hopeless. Try to talk sense into some of those people who choose to sleep in that camp. Vagabonds, drifters, hobos, and tramps. I already lost a few nights' sleep over the young lady with a translucent skin, so thin, she's nearly invisible. Every time I try to make a little headway with her, remind her there's plenty of space at the women's shelter, her legs waver and become more collapsible than those stands in a strong north wind. What gives? I try to treat her with a kind squint in the corner of my eye that nearly betrays a smile, but she recoils if I'm something vile and grotesque, retreated a mile deep into her mind before I can protest.
I'm fine, no problem. Troubles? Who ain't got 'em? I prefer the fresh air to that old stuffy shelter. Besides, the night sky out here is truly interstellar. Please don't speak to me further. Believe it or not, this isn't the first time I've slept through blizzard's weather. The trick is to find a low bowed comfier and wrap yourself around the base of the trunk as you shiver. You'll be repaid with warmth, an unforgettable night, maybe a sliver. So you'll see, I don't need your help, officer. So get out of here so I can go where my day demands before somebody gets the wrong idea and takes me before the night gets its chance.
Well, look who flew in. Who are you? Who let you in?
I'm Curtis, the people helping people. I just let myself in through the fence over there. I'm here to see if I can get someone to help you manage your meds, Jill.
Oh, time to take my meds. Wait, did you say you might sell me out to the feds?
What? No, forget it. I just stopped in to see how I might be able to help you, to show you you're not forgotten by Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam, that ron-con-headed mucklucker.
I believe you qualify for SSDI, which that's Social Security disability insurance. Could we go through the paperwork together? It's minimal.
How can you read those lines that are so invisible?
What? No, those empty spaces are for your information.
Just FYI, I was kidding. I heard what you're saying, and I really don't need help with my medication. You see, I have a plan in place, and I am going to, time to take my meds.
All right, that's great. You see if your condition prevents you from being able to work.
My condition is excellent, have you know? I just jogged 5 miles early this morning.
I mean your medical condition, your illness, the one you take the medication for.
Oh, that reminds me. I'm supposed to be thinking of something, remembering something. Time to take my meds.
So first thing they need is the date and place of your birth.
Oh, now that's a story worth hearing. It's a leap to believe it. But the labor was so long and drawn out that when I came out, I was asleep. Dreaming.
Do you possibly have an email you can access, maybe at the library?
Wait, I've heard of this. Is this some kind of phishing scam? Wait, are you the bait? Because I'm too smart for any Nigerian prince for my money to take.
No. Like I said, my name is Curtis. I'm from People Helping People just down the street. Here, take my card. There's my name. See it?
Oh, okay. So what do you want from me?
I want to help you get the benefits you're entitled to. It's my job. That's what they pay me to do. And I've helped a lot of other people just like you.
Okay, well, thank you.
So if you don't have an email to apply online, we'll have to work through these papers. And the easiest way to ensure you get the funds is to set up a direct deposit through your bank for the payments.
I knew it! Can't you see I got enough of my problems, snake? Pray on someone else who has a bank account worth taking.
Jilly throws Curtis the paper.
The people who really care, who want to help lift others up out of their seemingly bottomless well of despair. The walls are slick with age, thick with algae from bygone days, slippery with confusion and rage over misrepresentation on the news page. But these people are out to fool no one. Beautiful actions, not cheap. Intangible gains, not ill-gotten. They dedicate their lives to investing in those we have forgotten. Their steep efforts often go unseen. Their blood, sweat, and tears, not metaphorical or perceived, but real. Giving back the blessings they could keep, completing the cycle. Bringing hope to the hopeless. Not out of a desire to impress or win a contest, but out of an understanding of the humanity of people who at this moment happen to find themselves homeless.
Hello, my name's Ruth, and I'm with the Giving Church. I wondered if you'd like some help. If you're hungry or need a coat?
You say you can help. I've heard it before. You can help your own self if you just open the door. There's no greater wealth than to nourish the poor, than admitting your wrongdoings and accepting the Lord. Lord, please don't bother. I've looked up to the Father, prayed each night for an offer of peace. Instead, I got shameful looks cast out on the streets. Each day grew heavier. So if you seek the author of my misery, look no farther than he who has risen. He's turned his back on me, plain as can be. It's clear I'm not part of his dozen. So if you'll excuse me, I'll go where the day takes me and plead with the devil that the night doesn't.
If you'll just look, I'm not here for missionary conversion. I'm here as my duty to the Lord and Savior and Holy Virgin to help ensure everyone is entitled to dignity and basic needs. I assure you, you're not the first or the last I'll see on the streets of this city. I promise, you're not the only one to have ever walked in your shoes. I'm merely here to give you information on resources to help you. And I have a bottle of clean water to quench your thirst.
I'm here because those I thought who loved me unconditionally sent me away. They turned their backs on me because of their traditional held beliefs. The illusion they bought into is why I'm sleeping on the streets. Their delusion, a more cherished relationship than they had with their child they conceived. I'm just a kid. I still needed my parents. Because I don't fit the image of God to them, I'm not worth a cent. There was never anything unconditional about their love and acceptance. Why do I think you're any different? offering me hope on a fishing line of false promises and reeling me in until I'm fully reliant on God, who won't accept me for who I am inside. I don't need God. I need my family.
I'm truly sorry that that happened to you. Even those who claim to know God can falter and fail to live up to God's image. But I make no excuse for those who have wronged you. That is not in my power. Instead, I'm just here to invite you to dinner. It starts in about an hour. There's no requirement to attend service or listen to teachings. It would simply mean a lot to me if you would join us in our feastings.
Well, I wouldn't mind something to eat, but I don't need your pity.
Ari is arriving in the park and pausing, giving her something. The abuser is walking with Ari. He pauses while looking at his phone. Ari continues on and kneels down to drop coins into Belle's container. They rise together, face to face.
The coins rattle off each other as they descend to the bottom of a tin can. She looks grateful, but I feel empty. I know I have a $20 bill in my jeans right now, but if I pull it out in front of him, it's a fight.
She nods toward the abuser, mocking his voice.
Why would you give that to a stranger? Where did you get that? Have you been hiding money from me? What else are you hiding? I wince from a slap avoided as I turn from her. She catches my eye. In that moment, I am her, and she is I. This shared reality reveals both sides of agony. A cold night engulfs me. Without four walls to encase me, I sleep with one eye open. A glimpse into my life, she sleeps near a knife.
The abuser moves on without Ari.
In the shadow of his jealousy, I rush off to catch up to him, leaving her there next to the curb.
You got love for everyone but me.
I'm instantly filled with anxiety. Don't piss him off, I whisper to myself quietly. Keep him happy. Go easy. Hey, tonight we could watch a movie.
He looks Ari up and down.
I back off. I walk next to him in silence, and my intrusive thoughts begin. I play the conversation over and over again, and then I see our house, but it's not a home with him.
The abuser approaches elsewhere and settles in a chair. Ari stands center stage.
When we get in, he starts drinking again.
The abuser sits in his chair and starts drinking and phone gambling.
Phone in hand, I know he's gambling again, standing in front of the sink, the water rushing over frozen beef. I stare out the window and see the woman again. Her light pink coat, her fingerless gloves with holes in them, her sleeping bag and tattered backpack. But the thing I'm stuck on is that smile on her face.
The abuser is pretending to yell from his chair in Ari's direction, silently to signify that Ari doesn't hear him.
The warmth of it, the roar of gratitude, I don't get it. My thoughts are interrupted by his booming voice.
So now you're ignoring me?
He stands and approaches her.
What did you say? But it's too late. I can hear the creak of his chair and the sound of his stride as he enters the kitchen. He sets down his beer. I can see the cap of the fifth of the Amsterdam on the counter. I look at him and he glares at me. My fears betray me, but he interrupts it differently.
Who are you thinking about now?
I wasn't. I was just thinking. He's not satisfied.
The abuser smudges makeup or face paint on Ari's cheek below her eye with his thumb to create a black eye. After a beat, the abuser and a police officer are minding a conversation.
Hours later, bruised in the mirror, pulling a long sleeve, he answers the door with the police outside. My mind travels back to her. But no, I can't. He controls all the money. How would I get to work? What if someone recognizes me? I pull down my sleeves. I can hear him call to me.
Hey, can you come out here?
My eyes grab hold of me in the mirror. I can see myself most clearly. I can see the lights of the squad car. I can see the shadows cast on the floor. I can see I wore his coat of anger. I called it love. He hits me because he cares. It fit just like a glove.
Ari walks over to where the abuser and policeman are, nods at the officer, and rolls up her sleeves.
I roll up my sleeves and let the police see the bruises all over me. And as he is cuffed in front of me, I know I have to hurry. Stuff my life into a backpack small enough that I can carry.
Why don't you just leave? Over half of women who are homeless list domestic violence as their immediate reason for being out on the street. But I have a trick up my sleeve. If that woman is caring for a child, that number jumps up to 80. Obviously, the presence of a child makes the decision a little bit more easy, but the difficulty is not always about getting out from under the thumb of the sleazy abuser. Though the belligerent boozer may look rather dumb, they're often quite smart for scum of the earth, running up their victim's credit card debt, going to perverse lengths to isolate them from family and friends, even refusing to allow them to leave for work, removing absolutely any sense of self-worth, until why don't you just leave feels more like how can you? And the familiarity of a beating becomes nothing I can't handle.
Jay is walking from the parking lot towards the entrance to the
holders. Check is going out to the bank money holders. I don't know how it happened, don't know how it came to be. I feel I got enough and I'm about to spring free. Then I get hit with one more thing. Car broke down, kids need this or that. It's always something. I tell you one thing. It's good I ain't a drug fiend. Never been the type for getting numb and doing that dumb thing. Every time I find a balance and I'm gaining focus, I'm getting hit with another overdraft notice. Sends me into a tear. Why don't I have enough? Kids hear the shouting, getting scared. I guess it makes them tough. I'm working 50, 60 hours a week. I'm getting paid, giving it back. Feels like I'm working for free. Worse than that, everybody tells me it's something to be proud of. My back slumped like it's been broken and beaten. Look at that blatant disparity and try to sell me that. In the end, I make less than nothing. In fact, I owe more back. The better half of each check, I owe it back just to pay the rent. Add the gas, grocery, clothes. Lucky if I have a cent left. No insurance, so I ignore the pain in my chest. Rest assured, my family will suffer more than pain in my death. No rest. No rest, it seems to me, that's for the wicked. Bank loans, credit cards blown. I need them lifted off my back. When it comes to exacerbating my own problems, call me gifted, but I'm getting off track. I'm headed for the cash advance spot because my car's motor keeps going chunka, clack, pow! And I've got no safety nets left. So I need a stack, like right now.
Hey, Jay. Even I'm getting a bit tired of seeing your face walk through that door, man. Have a seat. Roughly 12 million people take out a payday loan each year. And about 1/3 of borrowers take out more than 20 loans in a single year. If you're doing the math, that's basically every payday. Designed to provide emergency liquidity, payday loans divert money away from consumer spending and towards paying interest rates, hurting the individual and the economy. Not to mention, most lenders charge somewhere between 200 and 500% APR. Almost half of borrowers fail to repay their loan within the initial 2-week period, and last year alone, there were 50,000 bankruptcies filed related to payday loans. While the fees associated may sound small to uneducated borrowers, An initial principal of only 15% over 2 weeks can balloon that initial principal from $100 all the way up to $3,785 in a single year. Good luck, man.
Jay exits the Walmart to find he's parked in by a woman. He approaches the woman on his way out.
Excuse me. I'm sorry, but it looks like you parked me in. Could you please move your car real quick?
I'll just be a minute. Wait until I get back out, will you?
I'm sorry. It's just, I'm in kind of a hurry to get my kid. If I'm even a few minutes late, my ex will never let me hear the end of it.
I could have figured you for a deadbeat dad. I'll move it when I'm done. Next time, don't cut your schedule so close. Think about that.
She attempts to walk past Jay.
Please, you don't understand.
He grabs her wrist and turns the woman towards him.
Get off my damn hand.
She yanks her hand away and tries to slap him in the face. He puts his hands on her shoulders.
Ma'am, I'm just having a really rough day.
Who the hell you calling ma'am? Let me go and get out of my face.
The police officer enters with gun drawn.
Put your hands up and step away.
Hey, there's no problem, officer. I just need her to move her car.
This fool won't leave me alone, and he grabbed me by the arms.
Okay, buddy. Put your hands behind your back.
Come on, man. I'm already late to meet my daughter at the park.
I said, put your hands behind your back.
The following phone messages are heard as Jay is perp walked through the audience.
Hey, James, I apologize, but we just got a call from your wife that you won't be in for work because we're arrested. I was just telling you how impressed I've been with your work, but I'm sure I don't have to remind you it's in your contract that this offense requires termination. I'm sorry, but please come collect your things when you get a chance.
Hello, Jay Warren. This is your final notice that your past due payments plus fees are due by tomorrow, or we will be forced to begin the foreclosure process. Please call us back as soon as possible to make a payment.
James, where the hell are you? I can't believe you pulled this shit when you know I have to give a presentation at work. Just get here.
Survival tip. Survival tip number 17. Save yourself a lot of hassle from thieves or police with these tips for decent, less traveled places to sleep. Industrial parking lots often have overnight shift workers parked, and you can blend right in. And rest stops are one of the few legal places you can sleep in your car for one night only, so keep it moving. An old friend you barely talk to with a big heart might let you crash for a few weeks until you can get a fresh start. Just don't overstay your welcome, because word spreads fast, and the next friend who lets you sleep on the couch might want cash. If you choose to sleep outside, be sure to avoid places that are too exposed or too secluded, and think through all the possibilities that could leave you dead or wounded. But don't overlook the shelters or places of worship. Some of the safest places that will allow you to sleep include churches.
Officer Walker approaches her window and knocks. Ari squints from sleepiness and rolls down her car window.
Ma'am, are you sleeping here?
Oh, I'm sorry. I just needed some rest.
Notices Ari's blanket and pillows.
Ma'am, are you sleeping in your car?
Oh, no. I'm moving and I just fell asleep.
Ma'am, your pillow, blanket, and the bag of toiletries made me think you might be living out of this car.
Yeah, I could see how you would think that, but nope, just need gas after moving all week and I fell asleep before I went home.
Ma'am, I'm going to let you go, but it is illegal to sleep in your car. It is a safety issue. If you would like, there are resources. I can recommend some great services in the community to help you.
Thank you, officer. You will not see me here again. I don't need any assistance. Thank you.
Do you have anywhere to go?
I can't go back there. I will call a friend.
All right. If you change your mind, here is my card.
Thank you, Officer Walker.
Ari
This is the most free I've ever felt, yet trapped by judgments cast onto me by outward glances, told I'm not good enough for $1, but here are some resources. The parks I used to play in have now become my shelter. Tall castles that made me feel like a king are now cold metal reminders of the magic that trapped me into believing this world would lift me up. In school, they tell you you can be whatever you want to be. But they don't tell you you can be homeless too. You can be hungry, you can be cold, scared, rejected, alone, invisible. They don't tell you that simply being who you are can lead you to losing everything. I grew up with the name Michelle and the makings of a promising future, a supportive middle-class family, education, opportunities, faith, but I'm queer, which made friction inside of me, shaken the foundation of my family. On a chilly, cold September day, I'm sitting here at the Walmart, watching the world happen around me. I'm a change in the orientation on the curb, less than those in the heated cars on their way to work. Sometimes I feel like I'm watching from a different dimension, like a ghost. When your gaze becomes unobserved, the things that people will do will amaze you. I swear this man's finger is so far up his nose, he's touching his brain tissues. Really catches my eye is when I see a ghost like me trying to pretend they're alive. I've been for 3 nights, the ingredients of a home, the holding of everything she owns, the brushing down her hair, the blanket and the pillow. This is the moment she is freezing, street sleeping, her soul depleted, but she'll find her freedom. This is right before the drop. She's at the peak, and it won't be long before I see her at the heap. Another woman, struggling to open the Walmart door against the force of the wind, looking directly at me as the door opens, as if she actually sees me. When this happens, your embarrassment becomes second seat to your desperation for survival. As she walks toward me, I stand up looking non-threatening, but without hiding my pain. I look at her, widening my eyes. Ma'am, do you have any change to spare? Anything?
Excuse me, what did you say?
Do you have any change to spare? Anything? Anything's greatly appreciated. I am so cold and hungry.
What is your name, sweetheart? How did you end up here?
I told her my parents kicked me out because I'm queer. You all know the story. By the way, my name is Erin.
Is there a way we can stay in touch so I know how you're doing?
As the woman is digging in her purse, Aaron continues talking to the audience.
I'm in disbelief that someone actually cares how I'm doing. She actually wants to listen how I got here. Maybe I'm not invisible.
Aaron takes out the phone as the woman is taking out her wallet. The woman sees what Aaron has in their hands. The woman's face changes as if she is confused.
Is that an iPhone?
I've had it for a long time. It only works with Wi-Fi.
Aaron shows the woman and the audience that the screen is cracked.
If you can afford an iPhone, then you can afford yourself some food. I don't even have an iPhone.
Again, I'm invisible.
The woman walks away, and Aaron heads toward her spot.
At the heat, Ari enters the bathroom at the Walmart. Ari comes to the sink and is looking around to see if anyone is noticing her. She's brushing her teeth and notices a woman walk into the bathroom. Ari is visibly embarrassed and begins to quicken her pace, quickly swiping deodorant under her arms, throwing the deodorant in her backpack on the floor. Ari puts lotion on her face, rubbing it in. Ari throws everything into her bag and runs off.
Survival tip number 39. Especially if you're searching for or maintaining a job, you'll want to find a place to wash your face and ass. Because trotting up to the Walmart mirror gets old, and the faces from strangers that walk in on the scene get cold. So if you've got the transportation and the funds, the value of a 24-hour gym membership cannot be oversold. They've got a sauna, steam room, showers. They've even got TVs if you're on the treadmill pretending to run. And if you're a bit pissed off with your station in life, a few rounds on that boxing bag can actually be quite fun. Otherwise, there's always the truck stop shower, though I might recommend some flip-flops or foot powder. Or you can pick up a pack of body wipes from the market, and some hand sanitizer will neutralize odor-causing bacteria underneath the armpits.
Hi, guys. Welcome to my home. This is my home, as you can see, I'm not alone. These are my people. Well, most of them. One or two. Woo! I can go without. But I ain't got nothing. I got nothing to say about that thing. You know that thing. The thing. Oh, time to take my mask. Oh, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. The thing is, oh, I can't think. My thoughts are swimming. Doing the breaststroke. Hearing the waters of light. Oh, gliding through this moment of glory. Standing here telling you my story. While I roam and wander along, my brain is going boom, boom, boom. Like that one song. Time to take my meds. How did I get here, you ask? Oh, living outside, sometimes in the shelter, trying my best to make sense of the shelter of it all. I can't go back. Can't go back to that place I'm from. The people there, they don't like me. Especially my mom. She's got her own water to tread. She can't deal with me. You see, I'm bipolar. I'm screwed up in the head. I wish I was normal, but then I wouldn't be here, and I'd miss my people. I miss them. They're so dear. They look after me. They're like my parents they couldn't look after me, just like my parents couldn't look after me. They make sure that I take my meds and that I remain good. And I don't know what I would do without this community of brothers and sisters and those who believe in unity, of purpose. We're just trying to survive in this world we did not make, protecting each other from the assholes on the take. And they take, and they take, and they take, and they take. Time to take my meds.
Regardless of their path, most unhoused people struggle with mental health. And it isn't always the result of an imbalanced brain, but abusive supposed loved ones inflicting that pain. Half of homeless youth have felt the strike of a hand that pushed them out onto the streets and into a life they didn't plan for. And half of them are victims of sexual activity that was forced. Let that sink in. We have a tendency to cage people with our expectations, boxing them in, but we are the creators of the box. We are not the boxes. Consider this before you trap someone with your assumptions. Getting back on your feet can be difficult with all the hoops there are to jump in, and getting yourself off the street can take more than a little luck and a lot of gumption.
Elsewhere becomes Ari's workplace. The boss looks at her, watch indicating that Ari is late. Ari rushes in with her backpack and papers in arms.
Ari, are you late again?
I'm so sorry. I had a rough morning. I'm going.
Listen, I don't want to be insensitive, but if you can't get here on time, we may have to let you go.
I understand.
An abuser comes up behind Ari while she is seated at her desk.
Are you okay?
I'm good.
Well, you could talk to me if you need to.
I'm okay.
He moves behind her, placing his hands on her shoulders.
Maybe you just need a real man in your life.
No, I just got out of something serious. I just need a moment. Alone.
Listen, babe, I'll make you forget all about him. Come get some of this and stop being a bitch about it.
Ari tries to stand up, but the abuser pushes her by the shoulders back down into her seat.
Come on, don't do me like that.
Lights go off. Quick scene arrangement then reopens on Ari sitting with the boss and Officer Walker on either side of her, standing over her.
I didn't want him to.
Do we really need the police here?
If this man forced her to have sex, that's a crime.
Did he rape you?
Well, not exactly.
It's a yes or a no, Ari.
Not always, ma'am.
I said no, but.
If they didn't have sex, then what's the issue?
Before we get into that, I still need basic information from you, Ari. Where are you living?
Never mind, this was all a big mistake.
You know, filing a false police report is a crime.
Not to mention your poor co-worker's name dragged through the mud.
I'm sorry, it wasn't that big of a deal. I overreacted.
You think?
Are you sure there are resources to help you?
Unemployment.
No, I think I misinterpreted, and this just got bigger than I intended.
So you meant for this to happen? What, for attention? Is this about your lateness? Ari, I don't even know what to say.
No, I didn't. I didn't want to. I just don't. Sorry again.
This is unacceptable. We're going to have to let you go.
Survival tip number 284. Assign value to everything you own. That's how you'll know what to keep on you or stash in the bushes while you roam. But the most important thing you've always got to have on you is toilet paper. You never know when you got to go. Am I right? And it's not just TP you've got to have, but someone you can trust. Trust me when I tell you a solid number 2 can truly lighten your path. Speaking of trust and picking up a number 2, a dog might be a liability, but they can also give you a reason to keep going. And from others, you might get just a little extra bit of pity. Just be humble when asking, shrink down, be smaller, and if you're lucky, they'll give you and your little dog too $1.
I was born with a metaphorical hole in my heart. How do I fill it? What is my purpose? How can I help? I turn to God, whose wisdom and love fill that hole, and I am inspired. How can I repay God's love? I know I'm fortunate indeed. I know I'm fortunate indeed. I know I'm bound by my spiritual journey to help those in need. I give compassion and love to those who are lost. I give generosity and assistance with no thought of cost. While my faith is my guiding light, and that's important for me, it is not my responsibility to convert those in need. They must find their own path, that they might know God's love. Until then, my purpose is to help those down low to rise above. Don't you understand? They need a home. They need to be seen, to be loved and fed, and assured that they are most definitely not alone. My desire to help is no ploy. I give of myself with joy. This is my purpose, and it soothes my soul. To walk among the less fortunate with kindness and grace is nothing less than I owe.
The narrator gathers some LED tea lights and motions for Ari to follow him to her spot in the heap, placing candles at other heap residents as they go.
In dark times, a little bit of light can go a long way. And the difference between frozen and definitely not warm can be the flicker of a flame. Bum a cigarette, and you might be able to pocket a lighter with it. And if you can get your hands on a candle and a clay pot, you can really warm up a small space with it. Lay your clothes out when they're available, even if it's hot out now. Winter donations become less attainable. So if you have to choose between freezing and cotton, it's better to sweat now in that jacket of down.
Ruth is wandering through the heap with an apple. She sees Ari and stops to talk. The pimp whistles to Belle from side stage, and they mime a conversation during Ruth and Ari's exchange.
Hello.
Hi.
You know you don't have to stay out here. There's a shelter right up the street. I could help you find a place there.
I don't need or want anything from you or anyone else. Everyone keeps saying they can help when you don't even know what's going on with me.
I don't mean to bother you, but I saw you and I wanted to say hello. Do you remember me? I mean, I know you know who I am. Everyone in the heap knows Righteous Ruth. I was wondering if you remembered me from school. You were in my 4th grade class. Do you remember? I remember. I remember sitting with you after school while we waited for your mom to show up. We had some good conversations, you and I. Well, I was just thinking that perhaps we could have a good old conversation. Doesn't matter what we talk about. We can talk about anything you want. Are you in need of anything? Food? Water? A hug? I guess I just made that awkward. You also don't have to say anything. I can just sit quietly over here and not say a word. I'll just be over there if you need me, okay?
She won't go away. What is it with this day? No one will leave me be. No one will listen to me. I don't need help. I don't want to talk about how I felt. I'm doing fine. I'm doing okay. I'm surviving day by day. Like, what does she want anyway? Some type of church giveaway? So she can tell my business? So she can say she saved someone in distress? She doesn't know me, doesn't understand what it's like to be me. Offers me sympathy, but she won't even give me my privacy.
The day is transitioning to night. Belle winds her way through the heat to center stage.
It all happened so fast. So many red flags I looked past. Things I did to make it last, make us last, make the fantasy last, make the high last. It wasn't always like this. I had goals and shit. I had dreams too, plans that always fell through. I wasn't always like this. My dignity torn apart bit by bit, held captive in my mind by a man who isn't mine. He tells me where to go, who to see. He controls me. He controls my body. I wasn't always like this. Police say that if they had $1 for every time someone said that, felt like a punch. And I wanted to punch back. See, I told him it wasn't like that. I told him I did not want more. He called me a whore. I said, stop. He took more. I fixated on the spot there on the floor. It wasn't always like this. I had a good job, but I didn't fight back. Police told me that's what may have saved me, but in reality, he killed me. Stole away my credibility. My boyfriend didn't believe me, said I was adding to my count. Just another body, like I left mine. While he took his time from courting me with dinner and wine to asking me to do this for him just one more time. Go on, baby, it's just only a line. Don't be a square, leave that old life behind. You'll be fine. I'm here, and you are mine. He becomes less protective and more possessive. He adds more and more favors. I cry silently. Shattered dreams and a body no longer mine. He doesn't really ask, he demands. I comply, I've caught those hands. I wasn't always like this. What you see is a shock to you and me. I wasn't always like this. Damn, you look at me like I'm translucent, invisible. You see right through me. And behind, you see him.
The pimp steps out of the shadow to stand behind her over her shoulder. He points to Ari and sends Belle to get her first.
I wasn't always like this.
Ari is asleep in her area of the heap, and Belle is quietly pulling Ari's wallet or purse out of her backpack, then returns to her spot in the heap. Ari wakes up after Belle is gone and starts frantically searching through her backpack.
It's gone.
What's wrong? What did you lose?
My wallet, my ID cards, everything, it's gone.
The heap is a dangerous place with dangerous people. A pretty girl like you will have to be more careful where she leaves her things and who she trusts and where she sleeps. Don't be afraid. I was just like you. I was lucky to find someone to look out for me. After all, we found ourselves on Lady Luck's bad side, living here.
I think I'll be okay. I just need to be more careful.
Yes, more careful. But you have to sleep sometime. You can't watch your back all the time.
Jimmy wakes up and approaches them, yelling at Belle.
Hey, what the hell you think you're doing? Take your tricks somewhere else. This ain't the bus station, and she ain't a lonely lamb needing a wolf's protection. Get! That's not a path worth walking. It only leads to more pain. You still got light within you that can lead you out of here.
How would you know?
I've been around a long time, and I've been around long enough to know when someone is teetering at the edge, you got that voice inside telling you how easy it would be to just stop trying, to give in and accept a fate you know you don't want. I'm guessing you feel life won't stop kicking you down, but I see a ray of dawn within you. You got goals and dreams you still want to achieve.
What would you know about my dreams?
I dreamt a dream once, only to be told the dream I dreamt wasn't meant for me. I believed it, and soon my dreams were flashes of lives I shouldn't have. It felt like even when I sent out a prayer, I swear that sucker came right back, return to sender. I stood strong, but my soul was tender. I found myself at a crossroad when my spirit's shine began to flicker. Do I dance with the devil and make my descent quicker, or foster my light and consider not losing? It was at that moment that I saw I was worth choosing. So choose yourself.
And what, end up like you? A professional bum? I could make enough cash with them to start over anew.
They'll break you down, make you degrade yourself until you see their anger as love. They'll sell your soul until you're sold out and rent your body to the next bidder until you're bitter at yourself for not making them more. You'll be a shell of you that will answer to any name they call you because their voice will be a fear you disguise as kindness.
And what? So then, what? How do I survive the night? How do I get a new day?
If you're lost, ask for help from those who actually want to help, like Ruth. Just remember, we fall sometimes in order to know how to rise on our own. And other times we fall in order to know who will be there to catch us and help us back up.
Jimmy wanders away.
Survival tip number 1. You'll do things you never dreamed of to survive. Kill your spirit and sell your body for a bite. It'll start with a friendly face telling you they know a guy, that he can feed you, clothe you, keep you safe at night. When the Johns come out, he'll tell you it's just this one night, that all help comes at a price. One night becomes another, and then another, and then another, a never-ending tunnel with his fist at the end. What's between your legs, your only source of quote-unquote protection. 91% of people living on the streets have been approached by the proverbial predatory snake Slytherin. Opportunities for income, too good to be true, is what they promise to deliver them. Scam, fraud, or sale of stolen goods are among some of the less evil deals to keep from shivering. Sexual favors, or black-bagged and transported to faraway camps as free labor, are among some of the more sneaky, slippery, veiled offerings people unknowingly accept in an attempt to get back on their feet. 64% of trafficking survivors were experiencing homelessness when their only choice left was to say yes. They'll approach you when you're alone and look the most desperate. That's why it's important to always stick with a friend, or hope against hope that someone's watchful eye is willing to defend.
Ruth returns with an apple and offers it to Ari. Ari looked at the apple longingly. She speaks to the audience.
Damn, I'm hungry. She says she remembers me, but she looks at me with pity. Looks down on me, doesn't see me. Sees my situation so shitty. She looks through me, Or does she? Maybe she does just want to help me. Damn, I really am hungry.
Ari sits down next to Ruth and takes the apple.
It's a pink lady.
Damn, a pink lady? Even I can afford a Honeycrisp.
The Honeycrisp have been pretty picked over, and I thought, why not try something new?
And if you went with the pink lady, I feel like maybe we could help each other. Your produce picking skills are lacking.
I would love your help, Ari. So, this is good?
All right, don't get all mushy on me. Let's just start with getting me a bed for tonight.
Cool. Sounds like a plan.
Curtis enters the heap, trying to avoid Jilly. Curtis! Jilly runs up behind Curtis, who is speedwalking away from her, grabs his shoulders and spins him around.
Hey, how come I haven't received my disability check?
Well, remember when I handed you the SSDI form, you stopped filling it out at Section 5B, and you asked me why White Weasel put me up to this?
That doesn't ring a bell. I only know a white rabbit.
And remember when it asked for your Social Security number, you threw the papers into the puddle and said,
Oh, now I remember. You wanted to sell me out to the feds. Oh, you know what? It's not going to be that easy.
hey, Jay, I got your...
I won't go without a fight.
Hey, Jay, I got your Section 8 application submitted to the PHA and the HUD, but I think we should get you set up on the TANF through the Wisconsin DCF and apply for SNAP benefits, at least until you find employment.
I appreciate your help, Curtis, but I literally have no idea. No one here ever knows what the hell you're talking about.
It's a pretty simple dance when you know the steps, like a swing step, rock back and forth, triple step, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gather the paperwork from the government sites, fill out the right documents with evidence, submit and follow up. Come on, do it with me.
Curtis grabs Jay's hand and lifts him standing. Jay walks and attempts the steps, completing part, but tripping over his feet and throwing up his hands.
I am not cut out for this. Just tell me when you got something real for me. A couple of these fools are really starting to get on my nerves.
You could try the shelter.
I told you that shit ain't for me.
Curtis approaches Aaron.
Listen, Aaron, you don't have to have don't you have a friend you can stay with while we wait for everything to process? The ESG and the HAP might cover last month's rent and security deposit for new apartment. But you could be waiting a while. Besides, it's really not safe out here, and the storm is supposed to come through this week.
Look at me. I'm free here, Kurt. Plus, all these people here have ever treated me like family since I got here.
Aaron, I've been out here for a lot of years, and I do anything for these people. But not every one of them is out to do good by their neighbors. You know what I mean? Not to mention, you're not always sure which version you're going to get any given day.
Jilly is pulling at the helmet and finally gets it out with the following exclamation.
I appreciate your words of caution. I'll tell you what, when the storm comes through, I'll check out the shelter. Would that make you feel better?
I wouldn't wait long if I were you.
Curtis walks towards Belle.
How are you, Belle? How about a dance? Come on, it's the Roomba.
They take hands and step together, Roomba stepping as they converse.
Did you get a chance to contact the Golden House?
I told you it's not like that.
I spoke with Tiana, and they'd be happy to take you.
You really don't get it.
That's security and help.
I'm not someone who deserves your help.
Curtis, disappointed, gives up and approaches Jimmy.
How you doing, Jimmy?
The heat of the summer's passed over the heap, and the leaves of fall have made a nice bed for the white of winter to sleep.
I don't know if the newbies are really going to be ready for winter.
Are any of us ever really ready for what comes next?
I'm starting to get worried about Belle. Keep an eye out on her, will you? And Jay could use a distraction. Get him to play chess with you, something, huh?
Look, I'm not a shepherd, Curtis. I mean, these aren't sheep. You know she won't sell them out. Why keep trying to break this cycle? You've been here long enough to know it just keeps circling around and around like a never ending.
Dance. 2 steps forward, 4 steps back. Waltz 2, 3, gain trust. Wrong way to speak, get attacked. I'm really just here to help. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Learn the steps, time it out right, but some question if I'm here to direct them to some kind of government torture. It's hard enough to get medicine, and that's only pretty straightforward. As long as it doesn't get genocide as soon as they round the corner, even my knowledge becomes impediment. Some see me as a meddling peddler or former uniformer. Another reason to suspect I'm in cahoots with the coroner. Sometimes I wonder what I'm doing out here, adrift on an unchanging sea. I step forward into solutions that present themselves, but nobody seems to be timing their steps with me.
Jilly notices Curtis feeling down, and after some hesitation, approaches him and places her hand on his shoulder.
35,000 to do nothing? 10,000 to do something.
It costs the taxpayer $35,000 per year per inmate to incarcerate, only $10,000 to get them off the street. 35 large to punish and pune, correct? If I may. 10 seems small in comparison to give them their own place to stay.
35,000 to do nothing? 10,000 to do something?
I wonder how much to give them some job training. Oh yeah, actually, I do know. It's somewhere between 1 and 1.5K. Another 1,000 to teach them financial literacy so they don't fall prey to same old mistakes.
35,000 to do nothing? 12,000 to do something?
And I can feel you're about to irritate with accusations. I had to vindicate myself 100 times. What about the drugs?
Yeah, what about the drugs?
You're right, there's a problem lies. It costs an average about $13,000 to rehabilitate. That's $2,000 for medical detox to get the blood clean and the head straight. $6,000 for 1 month of inpatient rehab to mitigate immediate relapse to old ways. And $5,000 for 3 months of outpatient rehab to help you recalibrate your new life. Liquidate the numbers and we're a little over 25K.
35,000 to do nothing? 25,000 to do everything!
So realize the real lies that lie in the argument to criminalize real lives. But who's listening to my cries? Don't mind me, I'm just the guy dealing with this every day of my life. So I go where mine takes me, and I hope I can keep another falling victim of the night.
Jimmy is packing up his stuff in anticipation of moving day, while humming a tune to himself similar to Don't Worry, Be Happy. He looks around and starts talking to his dog.
Well, friend, it's almost time to skedaddle. Not sure where we'll rest my head, though. Well, I mean, the under-over would be ideal, but I heard it's overrun by lambs. 1, I don't feel like teaching a bunch of newbies how to go about it. And 2, I'm finding it harder to sleep through the traffic overhead. No. Wino Park stopped being safe a while ago. Plus, they trimmed all the bushes down, so I couldn't even keep a stash there if I wanted. And they fenced off the warehouses by the river. No. The bridge is too damp. My bones wouldn't last the night. You know, I liked you a whole lot more before you spent that day with Jilly. Ever since you've been more confrontational. I don't know if the silo's quiet and safe. It's such a climb to the top, and the last time the factory wasn't happy with me, I barely evaded the cops. Had to hide under a porch for a couple hours. Plus, it can get windier than a mother up there. You know, sometimes I wonder about the other me and what I'm doing right now. I'm not sure which decision led me here. Maybe all of them, maybe none, but I wonder. Oh, well, it's like Aaron said, at least we're free. If there's someone out there watching me, I hope I put on a good show. Maybe that higher power, that higher source will give me an encore or let me play this role again so I can try something different. I might want to try something different.
Jimmy goes back to packing his things. The narrator comes out, sleepy and rushing to put on his All-Mart uniform.
Welcome to the All-Mart. If you don't need it, we definitely got it. Sorry. You see, I've had a past few rough nights' sleep. The light on the charger kept blinking like a street lamp about to go out, and the dog wouldn't stop barking at, well, nothing, as it turns out. I swear I must have gotten up 10 times to check for water in the basement, and that mattress has gotten as hard as the pavement. Wife left the window cracked, and the wind was colder than the hell, and a raccoon must have gotten into the neighbor's garbage can. You wouldn't believe the smell. Anyways, this day is kind of a wash. I can't seem to put space between two paragraphs of thought. You see, I'm teetering on edge if you can't hear it in my voice, and there's a little bit of stress pushing me to make the wrong choices. This lack of sleep is truly putting me to the test. I'd swear I'd climb into that dumpster if I thought it would get me some rest.
And they begin minding the conversation about clearing out the hair while Aaron talks. During each monologue, the narrator is grabbing what he can of their possessions and piling them up center stage.
When I was a kid, my family used to camp a lot. That was peace and freedom away from home, because home was a heap of chaos. Now, a blood orange glow rests on half of my face. As my tummy grumbles, I tell myself, this is just like camping. If this isn't freedom, then what is it? People look past me, through me, until where I sleep becomes a threat to their routine. When I have too many things, they can't forget I exist.
All right, everyone. I realize the difficulty of this situation, but we gave you 72 hours to collect your things and move on. Now we are here to dispose of any belongings left behind. Please step aside and allow us to clear out the park.
Shelter, food, water, warmth. All we need is this. Because we are homeless, my needs are divisible by the city ordinance. The heap of tarps, cardboard, homeless humans you call chaos are the only warmth I know, other than a small tin can of blood orange glow. You give us 72 hours telling us we have to leave. You point us to shelters, call-ins, and charities, but until there's a bed, where do you expect me to sleep? This park is the only place I have to land, the only land that is not invisible and looked past. What you call trash is a flag waving in the air saying, we are here. So you see, we have no family, nothing to our name. The only heap we call our home, you're throwing away. When you take all my things, I'll have nothing left, except for my freedom and another opportunity to toughen. So fine, I'll take it. I'll go where the day takes me and hope the night doesn't.
Aaron exits, as do the other heap residents after they recite their last monologues.
What am I supposed to do? Am I not human too? A job, a person, a daughter, a neighbor. I'm also here. I see you. I don't want you to disappear. In this heap, disease can live. Cops don't want to hurt you. We want to help you. That's what we are here to do. But right now, I have this terrible job to do, and that's to move you.
When a slippery slope becomes a steep cliff, staring over the edge, the open air, almost begging for you to slip, as the walls press in around you, threatening to box you in, that wide open horizon over the edge starts to look less like an affliction, more like a pre-written script inviting you to skip town, slip down out of your responsibilities that you have trapped in a bottle with a neck too narrow for you to get out, slowly filling up with water and feeling like you might drown. So when you see me, insides on the out, and the corners of your mouth pulled down in a slight frown, remember, it's not such a long way down from that barely lower middle class clown show, hardly making it check to check while, like dust in an unused corner of the house, your debt grows and grows.
threatening to throw my things away, like there's nothing left that's my own. I don't even own this flesh and bone, not the curve or straight lines. So, like I've said to every man who ever asks me, what's wrong? Just take it. I'm fine.
The truth is, the meds make me feel disgusting. A shell of myself, lacking the most lustrous parts. When I was in that place, that place, they were given to me by force. I thrashed and I screamed until my voice went hoarse, until I realized that was the opposite of what they wanted. Key to getting out was to pretend everything was just fine. Not 10 toes over the line, white knuckle gripping. Divine inspiration. Or the black hole sucking all the light of the universe into itself. Pretend the meds, they lay me out. They lay me out flat on the line, unaroused, unexcited. Oh, easy. But I like the highs. It's like I'm flying. And the lows, they're proof that I'm alive. I'm alive. Can't you hear me? I'm alive. I'm not dying. You really can't get help unless you're willing to take them. But I can't go back to that sheenless, obtuse, placid state of mind again.
It's the moments we made, the memories we saved, collecting bits of crystallized happiness compressed into diamonds of hope, to share with others needing to cope in these moments of stress and strain, to ease their pain and let them know this too will change. So gather your hope, whatever the weather, or risk feeling hollow. Remember, wherever the day takes us depends on the path we choose to follow.
He regards Officer Walker for a long moment and then finally nods. The narrator begins his final speech. The characters enter one by one.
These situations are based on true stories, related by real people who've been experiencing homelessness or those working every day to be part of a solution. Nobody has all the answers, as you can see, and things are a lot more complicated than they may seem. So I guess the point is to try and look past that stereotypical image on the screen, because real life stories aren't about heroes and villains, but trials of soul and triumphs of spirit. Take Ari, for instance. A victim of violence and lack of self-esteem, headed straight for rock bottom, like Belle said. Troubles, who ain't got 'em? But we can't just boil it down to one single problem. Faces go missing but never make it to the milk carton, counting on the kindness of others when they're forgotten. Our humanity never dies, but it can get buried pretty deep inside, and it's much more than charity when you give a little time. A reminder of what it means or costs to be free. You might find a reason to believe in we, and a willingness to see that we're all tangled up in this together to some degree.
If you feel called to be part of the solution, there are many people in this room that can help you find the best way to help the real people get back on their feet.
Evening and learning a little bit more about the challenges of homelessness. About 21 years ago, this week actually, Streetlights Outreach started with two crazy guys named Steve and Tony, Steve Meyer, Tony Pickler, down on a street corner in downtown Green Bay. And for 21 years, Streetlights Outreach has tried to be in the lives of people right here in the heap, downtown Green Bay, trying to be in people's lives as best we can. We would love for you to join us in any way that you can as well, either on the streets or in support of what we do. We also have partners that we work with. Tonight we have St. John's Ministries here, and we're going to be trying to support them with the ministries that they do. But before we do that, I want to just give some special thanks to a couple people, Noah Simon and Cujo. Cujo is our narrator. Noah was back there working the slides up on the big screen. Those guys were part of the development team that put this on back in September down at the Tarleton Theater. And I was so impressed when I went to that on a Sunday afternoon, the message of this play, that I think it was in December or January, I had a cup of coffee with Noah, and I said, that play was too good to only put on 3 times. Is there a way to bring this play to Resurrection Parish? And he said, that'd be a really great idea, and maybe I could pull the troupe back together. But what would be really cool is that the members of Streetlights Outreach, who already have relationships with people just like you saw up here on the stage, if you would become the players in the play. And so we took it on as a challenge. They patiently worked with us, trying to push us to become the characters that we're portraying up here this evening. So really thanks to Noah and to Cujo, and also thanks to Nate Ruggles back here, was making the magic happen on the sound. We had a lot of people that it took to make this happen. Now, what we would love for you to do is to ask our cast members, who are all veteran street people, not street people, but people on the streets, being with people on the streets in relationship, ask them questions. They're going to be around, but guess what? They're also going to have a basket in their hand. And we would love for you to be generous as you can for St. John's Ministries, because a big portion of what you'll give tonight will go directly to St. John's Ministries. So they'll be at all the entrances. Please be generous with your money, but also ask questions. We're also going to have a reception out in the gathering area. We got some cupcakes and cookies and all kinds of good stuff. So spend some time talking, sharing what you felt about this play, asking any questions, having any conversation that you'd like to. Spend some time with that. We have resources out on the table for Whatsoever You Do, which is the sponsoring organization for Streetlights Outreach now, as well as St. John's Ministries is here to answer questions as well. So again, thank you so much for coming out, taking part in this production tonight, and hopefully, Noah and Cujo will continue to build this out and bring it to other parts of our community so that there are less us and them and more us. Have a good night. Thank you.